Get a personal video message for yourself or as a gift for someone else. For personal connections, shoutouts, birthdays, proposals, weddings, and much more. Enter your details about yourself so the celebrity can record a personal video message especially for you, including details such as your name, age, birthday, hobbies, or whatever else you include. As soon as the video has been recorded, you'll get an email with your link so you can share it on social media or download and keep it. Celebrities record videos as and when they can, usually within 2 weeks. But if you want a video for a specific date and it does not look like it will arrive in time, you can cancel it and get an instant refund at the click of a button. There are hundreds of celebrities to choose from and many more joining every day. Search by category or genre, buy a gift voucher, get updates and offers, and encourage your favorite celebrities to join so they can connect with fans in a fun and unique way. Raise money for their charities and much more. So order your video now for yourself or for someone else.
I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the KeithAndrewNetWork. This is Season 5, Episode 416. I'm here with Linda Prussen. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, the honor is all mine. Now, for people who want to know what the talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up and you should prove people wrong. You should prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. And you should prove to them #break the labels. So that being said, half hour, 35 minutes of your time, say anything you want, freedom of speech, freedom of self-expression. Gotta ask you some easy questions, then some hard-hitting ones. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, if you hear anything loud in the background, that's my dog. That's the first thing. He's not barking, but he is interested. So, can I show you? Wait, let's see.
Sure.
Can you see him? In the corner?
Is it
No?
he or she?
He. Oh, you see him right there. Yep, there you go.
Cute dog. What type of dog is it?
That's a multi-fill.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He's the love of my life.
So, starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
I'm a gymnastic instructor, a writer, journalist, wine columnist, actress, married 32 years, have 3 children.
Alright, well, I'm going to ask you some easy questions, and then we can go to the hard-hitting ones. And first one is, who influenced you to become an actress?
Oh, wow, okay. I can name more than one person or one film?
Yeah, this is your time. You can say whatever you want.
So when I was younger, I would say definitely I saw The Wizard of Oz, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. Like, because I understood, of course, it was acting. Also, Guys and Dolls. Great film, and Oklahoma, which is funny because I'm not a musical theater person, but these are the things that made me want to get in front of the camera and they looked like they were all just having such a fun time. Also, The Brady Bunch. I would watch The Brady Bunch, and I was like, I want to be on that TV show. They look like they're having so much fun. When I got a little bit older, and I mean not much older at all, I was reading books like Audrey Rose, and I heard it was going to be made into a horror film. And I just remember begging my mother, like, they're going to make this into a film. I've got to audition for it. I must audition for it. And my parents are theater people. They're not into the entertainment industry. My dad was a police officer. Now he's retired. He was a retired police lieutenant. My mom was in insurance. And they really didn't know how to help me. So that kind of went by until high school. And then in high school, I auditioned for the On Tour group in our school district. It's pretty well known on Long Island, Calhoun On Tour. And I got into that. And I just kind of kept with it after that. But I really did want to do it when I was younger, and I just didn't have the chance.
Hey, if you're passionate about it, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're passionate about it, you should go and do it.
Yeah, it's just hard. You can't drive yourself anywhere when you're 10 years old or 12 years old. You really don't know how to find out about auditions. You really can't print up your own headshot and your resume. Things then also weren't online. Now, kids could really do a lot more online. You can have a kid producing a show who's 10 years old and doing a talk show, and it's not a problem. We didn't have that opportunity when we were younger. So we had, 3 major stations on the TV. That was it.
No, I understand. It's a perfect example. Let's say 17, if you went back 10 years, I'm not really sure when Skype became popular. And not even that. I don't know when Skype Recorder came out. And it's thanks to Skype Recorder that I'm able to do the whole recording. Now it's cut in half. I'm on the right, you're on the left. Or you interview me, I flip it. But it's because Skype Recorder I get to do. When Skype first came out, I would unfortunately have to do what I did in Season 1 and Season 2. Is using my phone for the camera, record it, then upload it to YouTube, then to download it again, then reformat it. So it was more work. But if you go back 20 years to like the 97, the internet was first starting out, number one. Let's see, I can't remember if iMovie was around in 97, but it was very primitive video formats back then. And going way, way back during, 96 and 95, for what I wanted to do, it was either radio or nothing. And for what you were doing, it's either travel to city to city and audition.
Exactly.
Or that was it.
Exactly. I do want to give my parents props. They did, when I was in my mid-teens, drive me to a theater group on Long Island also, Long Beach Theater Guild. And I did start doing some theater then. So I was kind of like in the beginning around high school age. So I was doing it in my high school, and I was also doing a local theater group. So they did try to do what they could do within reason, obviously.
Well, you keep mentioning Long Island. Where in Long Island are you from?
I'm in Merrick, Nassau County.
Heard of it. I'm not really. That's in North Shore, right?
No, South Shore.
Oh, it's close.
It's got to be one of them, right?
It's true. My grandparents.
Where do you broadcast from?
Oh, West Point.
West Point?
Yes, that's near upstate. So you're about 2 hours away from it.
Yeah, no, I go to Beacon. I was just in Beacon last week, so that's kind of near you, right, Beacon?
That's near Kingston. So yeah, about like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay. All right. So I thought West Point was closer to Beacon and Cold Spring. We go to that area a lot, actually.
Hey, if you're ever interested, I would love to hang out with you.
Sounds good.
You ever gone to Woodbury Commons?
No, but all my friends do, and my sister. Everyone. I'm not that into shopping.
Well,
but I heard it's great.
It's pretty nice. Hey, just let me know when you guys are in the area.
Okay, definitely.
Now, the next question I was going to tell you, actually, my grandparents used to live in Long Island. So did my parents. My grandparents were from Seaford.
Okay, that's right near me.
And also, I don't know where Merrick is, but it does sound familiar now that we're talking about it. And now my parents were from Massapequa.
Very close. So it's if you're on the Long Island Railroad, you have from Merrick, it's Merrick, Wantor, Seaford, Massapequa, Massapequa Park, Copeg, Lindenhurst, and Amity. So that's how you go that way.
It's funny, I know the names, but I can't just picture it.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is to do is go to Jones Beach. Now, my parents aren't really up to going to the beach. Well, my dad isn't. My mom's obsessed with the beach. I've been to the beach only one time, and I almost fell into the ocean.
That happens. If you go there a little more often, you get used to it.
It's true, and the reason I almost fell into the ocean is we were going to see Foreigner, Def Leppard, and I call them Fake Sticks. Because my brother's like, oh, we have to go to the show early. I don't care if Keith goes to the beach. Yeah, I want to go see Sticks. So, cut time from the beach. And it was one guy from the original band Sticks, and it was a tribute band. I'm like, and we had to give up the beach for this? They're horrible.
Yeah.
But the reason I almost fell in the ocean was my mom is way in the Pacific. No, Atlantic, sorry. Got it confused. Forgot we're on the east side. In Atlantic, there was like a storm brewing in. So the waves were coming in heavier and heavier. So my mom was like, let's get closer to the water. Let's get closer to the water. And this big wave came in. And as I was going back out, it pulled me on my ass. And I was like, yeah, that's a little too close.
When I was younger, I got knocked down quite a few times. But then, like I said, you go there more often. You kind of get used to it.
It's true. Now, my next question I was going to ask you was, what were some of your favorite films that you were a part of, and are you part of any extras?
Right now, I'm currently not in a film, but I'm in a long-running series, a web series called Body Jumpers. It's this urban action sci-fi series, and I play an assassin, and I shoot that pretty regularly. You can find that if you look on YouTube. You just look up Body Jumpers, and you'll see that. I had a tremendous amount of fun being on Comedy Central. I was on the Greg Giraldo show. I had a part opposite him. I was playing a hooker. He was playing Santa Claus. It was rather funny. What other? I had done a lot of reenactments. So I've done Forensic Files. I was murdered and wrapped in a carpet and locked in the trunk of a car. And they did lock me in the trunk of a car. And they actually drove a little too, so it was kind of fun. I was on Maury Povich's show. I played a crime reenactment for a woman that walked in and found her father had shot her mother in the head and then committed suicide. The mother did survive. She ended up blind, but she did survive. So they were on the show. So rather than put those people through what had happened again, they use actors and actresses to reenact what had happened to them and to go into the story. So I did that. I was on Al Roker Investigates. I played a female trucker who saved a young teenager from a life of prostitution. A lot of prostitute angles here. I don't know. Those were the most fun, I suppose.
Now, for people who want to follow in your footsteps, actually, this is a perfect segue for my next subject for you. Social media. Can social media make you or break you? That's the first question. And the second part of that is, what were some of the websites you have to use hands down? He said, if it wasn't because of this website, I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity.
At the time, Craigslist. And it's not what it was. Like now, not a lot. They used to have a lot of legitimate castings on Craigslist. There are less and less. They tried changing the format of Craigslist, and I guess Craigslist also got a bad reputation for having things that may not have been checked out, and you can end up in a bad situation. So a lot of people shied away from Craigslist, and now they're not really posting the listings and the castings on there. They're mostly pay casting sites like Backstage. I did use Backstage back when I used to use the newspaper version of Backstage. Yeah. But I really don't use the pay version of Backstage. I kind of find a lot of the listings a little bit late. That could be when I'm online, or it could be when Backstage is getting the casting. It's like, oh, we're casting for this in 2 hours. Well, I'm here on Long Island. I kind of need a little more time than that to get myself together and get on the train and find you. So that's a little rough. But Mandy.com used to be one also. A lot of these sites, though, they don't really have the castings that they used to have anymore. I did get the web series I'm in. That I did get through Craigslist. Another one that was really fun, actually, another student film I did was Hubcap Girl, where I played a superhero that saved the world from hubcap thieves. And it was a really funny costume, and it was a real fun time. It was a New York Film Academy students' work, and I got that through Craigslist, too. Most of the stuff I actually did, at the time, get through Craigslist.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's funny because when I first started my talk show, I used LinkedIn for everything. And, you know, from LinkedIn, I went to, let's see, if I remember correctly, LinkedIn, Facebook. Facebook can go either way. You know, people do lie about what they do. Twitter, I am always on. I'm always networking. And Stage 32, not as a lot, but I do use Stage 32 occasionally.
What is Stage 32?
Alright, so I would recommend it for you and everyone out there. Stage 32, it's if you're looking for work, you know, it's for actors, actresses, models, CEOs. It's pretty much like Craigslist. But it's also kind of like a MySpace. You have a profile, you post your work, you tell them what you do. It's really, for me, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's really good. It's kind of like a mixture of MySpace, LinkedIn, and actually not LinkedIn, MySpace and a Facebook.
Is it free?
Yes.
Huh,
if it wasn't, I wouldn't be using it.
Yeah, I loved MySpace. I felt bad when MySpace left. I actually really enjoyed MySpace. I liked a lot of the features that MySpace had. I had fun with it, and then everybody kind of left. I was like by myself. So I was like, all right, no more MySpace.
Yeah, I always used it. I didn't care for, you know, I think it was like 2008, 2009, where they changed the format from being original to now having to scroll. I didn't like the whole scrolling thing, like the pages. But you know what? MySpace was great. You know, I kind of regret not doing my talk show sooner because I had over like 1,000 people, you know, bands and actors. But I was just doing that to just jerk around. Now I'm kind of like, maybe if I took my talk show seriously, I could have done it sooner. But,
yeah,
you know,
possibly. Who knows? But you're doing great now, so there's no point looking back.
That's true. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you some more questions, then I'm going to pass the show over to you. 16, I'm here with the talented and beautiful Linda Prussen. I just want to say thank you for sticking with us. Now, with the last 18 minutes left of the show, I'm going to ask you a couple more questions, then I'm going to pass it over to you. And the next thing you did mention about you're a gymnast instructor. Who influenced you to start that career, and are you still teaching?
Olga Corbett, 1972 Olympics, way before your time. But maybe your parents would remember her. She was definitely my inspiration. And yeah, I've been teaching gymnastics actually for the same person, for the same corporation for 32 years. I taught briefly at a few other programs prior to that when I was a teenager and a younger coach. But I see myself doing that for the rest of my life. Absolutely.
Now, do you do like the group exercises, or is it just the one-on-one? Now, do a lot of people say it's kind of like the circus acts where you have 3 people doing a stunt, or is it just the normal one person flipping?
Okay, you teach a group of kids, but you're teaching individual kids.
Yeah.
And then when they do a show at the end of the year on the floor exercise portion of the show, they do their show together. So you do you choreograph a small group routine. Some people say it looks like the circus. People who don't do gymnastics are like, oh my goodness, that looks like the circus. You're flipping all over the place. But people who do gymnastics kind of realize what it is. And we also do not just floor. We do balance beam, vaulting, uneven parallel bars also. And those are the girls. Boys have 6 events, but I teach primarily girls.
Now, for people who are interested, what are the age range do you teach?
I teach all the way, well, they start in, they have mommy and me classes with kids who are still in diapers running around in there. I don't particularly teach those classes right now. I have taught those classes. The classes I teach are from about 4 years old to teenagers for the most part, although I did teach a young woman who was playing, she was a professional figure skater. She was Pocahontas on ice. And she would come and use it more as a workout and maybe some moves that she could bring onto the ice. So you could do it, I guess you could do it to whatever age. They do have programs with adult lessons. If you call up your local gym, definitely find out about adult lessons.
Well, have you ever, and I'm a big fan of this, I'm a loser, have you ever taught any human pyramids, or if that's not really the whole gymnast thing?
That sounds more like cheerleading, and they do that at my gym. So I work at All American Gymnastics in Belmar. It's a great gym. They do they have a wonderful cheerleading program, and that sounds like something more that they would be doing, those kind of holding up each other's stunts, that type of thing.
All right. Hey, if you're ever interested, maybe I can do like a speaking engagement.
Oh, me, a speaking engagement?
Well,
I'm not sure about...
Well, for your classes, if you're interested for me to come in and tell my story.
Oh, for you, a speaking engagement. Oh, okay.
So I wasn't
All
really
right,
clear on that.
I'll definitely let the gym know. That sounds wonderful. I'll let them know. I was like, me, a speaking engagement. I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Now, my next question, before I pass the show over to you, is have you worked with people with disabilities, either in gymnastics and acting? Have you worked with people with disabilities, or would you be willing to work with people with disabilities?
Well, absolutely. And we have worked with people with disabilities in gymnastics, a wide range. We did have a Special Olympics team at our gym for a while. They kind of aged out of it, so those particular athletes aren't there anymore. There may be some also. We often have children that are semi-mainstreamed and they have a shadow in the class along with them to help keep them focused on the gymnastics that they're learning. So gymnastics, absolutely. Acting. I'm not 100% certain with acting, but I have, as a journalist, worked with people with a wide range of abilities and disabilities, and in all different positions. Oh, one of my best gymnasts ever, who just went away to college this year, who I love and miss dearly, is completely deaf. So, and she was, I did private lessons with her. She did not come to group. She came to group lessons briefly when she was much younger, but then she continued on with me privately, and she's an outstanding gymnast. Outstanding.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now, my next question I was going to ask is, what were some of your favorite films that you were a part of?
Was there so many films? I think I already told you this. This was like what I told you, the Greg Giraldo show, Forensic Files, the different reenactments.
Yes, but out of all of them, if you had to pick the top two, which ones had the most impact? Pick the top two.
Okay, I'll have to say Body Jumpers has to be one of the top two because it's so ongoing. It's a character that I get to grow with. I've started playing this either 4 or 5 years ago. So when you get to be with a character that long, you really do get to have a lot more leeway, a lot more fun with it. You get to anticipate what's coming next.
Right. So
that's a lot of fun. So that would be one. And let's see, what would the other one be? The Greg Giraldo show, definitely on Comedy Central. That was he unfortunately he is no longer with us, but he was outstanding, and he was just one of the best people to improvise with.
I heard the name, I never seen the show though.
Yeah, well, he also used to be the head roaster in the comedy roasts when they would roast an individual. So he would be the roast master, I think is what they called it. So, yeah.
Those are always fun.
Yeah.
Now, my last question for you, then I'm going to pass the show over to you, is do you still write articles? Do you do blogs, or do you write for the paper?
I write a wine column for the New York Daily News called Something to Wine About, and I review different wines. I suggest wines for different occasions, and I try to educate people a little bit on how a particular wine is made.
All right. Well, so for a perfect example, it's like saying, would you be interested in writing an article about me? Or I know I do make people drink, so I guess that would help with the wine sales.
Oh man, that's really funny. I really don't write those kind of articles any longer. I'm no longer really attached to a newspaper or a magazine in any other way except right now the wine column with the Daily News. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't have connections with somebody that might be. So I could definitely put you in touch with people that would probably be really interested in something like that.
I appreciate
a human interest story. Absolutely.
Well, we can always talk about it off the show.
Sounds good.
Wrapping up, is there anything you want to talk about, anything you want to promote? This is your time.
The one thing I did want to promote is that my play is, 3 of my plays that I wrote are going to be produced at Comac Library this Sunday, December 10th. I'm not sure if it's at 2 or 2:30. You have to call the library anyway if you're on Long Island. If you're not on Long Island, obviously it's not worth going to. It's free, but you do have to get on the list if you want to attend. And that's pretty much it.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Don't mind me. I haven't done my interviews as of late, so I kind of built up a hesitation and my disability shows more. But
that's okay. I really don't notice it. I'm stuttering myself, and I usually don't, so there you go.
I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but wrapping up, are you on social media? Are you on Twitter, LinkedIn, Stage 32? And the second part of that is, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction and what made you say yes?
Okay, so I am on Linked. I absolutely love Linked. That's my favorite one because it's people that are really focused on your ideas and what you're into. It's not people, oh, I had a horrible morning this morning, blah, 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 this is terrible, life's horrible. Like, it's not that. It's, I'm into wine, I'm into writing, I'm into acting, and that's what I'm going to be getting hit with. So Linked is very specific. I do like it for that reason. I am on Facebook, and that's a great way to keep in touch with friends and family. That's wonderful. I am on Twitter, but I only really use Twitter when I'm watching TV shows that I absolutely love and want to say something about them at that moment. And otherwise, I don't really use Twitter too often other than that. Not on Stage 32?
Yes.
32? Okay, I was going to say Stage 38, but okay, Stage 32. I'm not on Stage 32, but I think I'm going to be after speaking to you. I think I am going to research that. That sounds like something I really want to be on. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Not on Instagram, and I'm not on Snapchat. So that covers pretty much everything for now, right, as far as social media.
What did he mean by link? Is that a different website, or you mean LinkedIn?
LinkedIn. Yes, LinkedIn. Yes. Sorry, abbreviated. What was part 2?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
When you asked what was my first reaction, was kind of like, why? Why do you want to talk to me? When I decided to say, honestly, I decided to say yes when I figured out how to work Skype about an hour ago. So I said yes, but I was like, there's a real chance this isn't going to happen if I can't make this work. I had been using Skype to talk to my daughter while she was away at college, and was going wonderfully. And then I think it was after the computer updated some stuff, perhaps. It might have been right after Windows 10 hijacked the computer, which obviously most people know about that happening. Then all of a sudden my Skype didn't work anymore. And I wasn't able to get it to start working again. My husband uninstalled it, reinstalled it, gave it a try today, and it works. So there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have a couple questions for you off the air. By wrapping up our segment, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest. And I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road and also building a friendship with you as well.
Thank you so much.